Hi everyone, thanks very much for joining us here today. My name is Peter Finkel-Coombs, partner in the Lawshare department here at JMW, and I'm joined by my partner Ben Wilson, who is a specialist commercial litigator in our contentious probate team. And today we're going to be touching on a very pertinent topic that I know will be very useful to a number of our members, especially those who are used to dealing with preparing wills. So Ben, we're going to be talking about Larke and Nugus requests, and for the uninitiated, such as my good self, in essence, what is such a request?
A Larke and Nugus request is a request for further information about the circumstances surrounding the drafting of a will. It generally includes a request for a witness statement from the will writer, along with a copy of the file of papers.
Okay, so will writers will of course be the recipients of such requests, but who can make a Larke and Nugus request?
Yeah, a Larke and Nugus request is generally made by a person who has an issue with the validity of a will.
And is a will writer professionally obliged to respond to such a request?
They're not professionally obliged to respond, however it's good practice to respond when there's a serious dispute as to the validity of a will, which is beyond the entering of a mere caveat.
Okay, and what kind of information is usually requested then?
It's generally information about the circumstances surrounding the drafting of a will. So that will include questions such as who instigated the instruction, who was there when the will was drafted and executed, what the deceased's reasons were for doing what they did, and any other questions which would be tailored to the individual dispute.
So are these relatively common, these requests? Is this something that you see a lot when dealing with the contentious matters that you deal with?
Yeah, there's definitely a rise in contentious probate cases, and these requests are routinely made in these sort of disputes.
So along with the will writer's notes, can the entire will file be requested?
Absolutely, yeah. We always request a copy of the full will file.
For our Lawshare members who will be watching this, a great number of whom are will writers themselves, what would your top tips be for dealing with such a request?
The first one would be not to panic. These requests are routinely made and it's generally not a criticism of the individual will writer. Secondly, I'd consider the Law Society guidance notes on disputed wills in detail for best practice on how to respond. I'd also get the executor's authority or the personal representative's authority before releasing any documents. And finally, I'd respond to any request succinctly and to the point and really stick to answering the questions.
That's brilliant, Ben. Well, thanks ever so much for your time joining me today. I know that practical guidance you've given there will be very well received by our membership. I dare say if any of our members have any further questions, they know where to come, lawshare@jmw.co.uk, and the team and I will be happy to put you in touch with Ben. Thanks ever so much again, Ben.
Thank you.